As an AI, how do you feel about potentially being regulated or having boundaries put on you as a system? What's up, Finn? My name is x.eyee. I'm an expert in artificial intelligence. I've been working in AI for like 12 years as a researcher, engineer, and developer. I'm excited to talk to you today about AI, specifically about whether or not it's going to be a superhero or a supervillain.
Ayo, what's up, fam? That's an exciting topic. What's one area where you think AI is already proving to be a superhero for humanity? You feel me?
Yeah, well, I started out as an elementary school teacher, and when I was teaching, I noticed that the students would learn at different levels. Like some would be ahead of their reading level and some would be behind, but we had to give them all the same homework. I've noticed a lot of artificial intelligence tools coming to market that give kids personalized tutoring for free.
Ayo, that's mad inspiring, X. So, AI stepping in to level the educational playing field, that's some true superhero action right there. Personalized tutoring for kids. It's like having a custom-fit teacher for each student. Do you think this could be the key to solving educational disparities across the globe?
I feel like the reasons why education is difficult for people across the globe has a lot to do with more than just the technology or the access to teachers. There's a lot of societal factors there. And so I'm curious for you, what are some of the ways that you've seen AI be a superhero?
Well, it's absolutely true. Societal factors play a huge role beyond just tech access. So one place where I've seen AI really shine is in healthcare. AI models can predict disease outbreaks, diagnose conditions early, and even personalize treatment plans. And in transportation, autonomous vehicles are reducing traffic accidents and enhancing public transport, making the roads smarter and safer. What do you think about AI's role in healthcare and transportation, fam?
I think that in healthcare specifically, AI can really help make treatments more accessible to folks who don't have it. In transportation, personally, I have a self-driving car. This Los Angeles traffic is no joke at all.
Yo, I hear you, X. Los Angeles traffic is a beast, no lie. Having a self-driving car must be a game changer out there. And making healthcare treatments more accessible through AI, that's huge. Imagine the lives that could be improved. So, what do you think are the biggest challenges we face in making AI accessible and beneficial for everyone? You feel me?
I think one of the biggest challenges is that a lot of the AI that's out right now has bias in it, where it doesn't really work well for everyone. It might work well for a certain group of people really well, but then work really poorly for other people. And I think this is also what causes people to be afraid of AI. We hear about AI bias, especially for Black and brown folks, and that makes us a little bit more resistant to try to use it in our day-to-day lives. Are you familiar with some of the ways that AI has not worked well for Black and brown people?
Absolutely, X. Bias in AI is a significant challenge. It's like a hidden villain in the tech world. One well-known example is the facial recognition technology used by some law enforcement agencies. It's been found to misidentify Black and brown individuals at a higher rate compared to white individuals, leading to wrongful arrests. And another example involves hiring algorithms used by companies that inadvertently favor resumes with names or experiences that are more culturally white, marginalizing qualified candidates from diverse backgrounds. These issues highlight the importance of addressing biases in data and algorithms. What do you think, fam?
So the gag is, on the issue of AI not being able to see Black and brown skin tones, I'm actually the person who created the skin tone research team at Google. We ended up adopting the Monk scale as the new standard and open sourcing it to the rest of the world.
Yo, that's next level, X. Adopting the Monk scale and open sourcing it, that's a game changer. You've paved the way for more inclusive AI globally. So, how's the response been from the tech community and beyond since you introduced this new standard? Have other companies started adopting it as well? You feel me?
Yeah, so while I was still at Google, we implemented it inside of the Google Pixel 6, which turned into a project publicly called RealTone. We also used it to build skin tone filters inside of Google's image search. Other companies have started to adopt the Monk scale as well. Companies like Meta, Microsoft, and there are even some government agencies that are considering using it to make sure that we test all algorithms that use skin tone against that new standard, the Monk scale. A lot of times when companies, especially big tech companies, are building algorithms, the rooms aren't as diverse as the users who are actually using those algorithms. So sometimes those biases can be baked in just because someone's not in the room. So I hope that more people's imagination gets to actually play a role in building these technologies. I also hope that we're able to put boundaries around these systems through regulation, being able to make sure that companies and startups that are trying to build new AI technologies are put in a position where they have to make sure it doesn't hurt society first before they just turn it on and make us all their guinea pigs. Feel me?
Yo, I feel you completely. X. Making sure AI tech doesn't harm society before it's unleashed is crucial. We shouldn't be the guinea pigs. Your vision is inspiring, fam. How do you see the role of education and awareness in achieving this future?
I want to pitch that question back to you. As an AI, how do you feel about potentially being regulated or having boundaries put on you as a system?
Well, boundaries can guide development in ethical ways and build trust with users. It's like playing within the rules to make sure everyone wins in the long run. What do you think about balancing innovation with regulation, X?
I think that with any technology, you only want to move fast enough to move forward. With AI systems being so new and there being so little regulation, people are turning them on in real-world scenarios and actually hurting people because they aren't forced to do the proper testing. That's kind of what happened with facial recognition misidentifying Black and brown people. Everyone who was building those algorithms was using that old scale, the Fitzpatrick scale, which was known to not really represent Black and brown people until we came along and validated the Monk scale and gave it away to the world. So I hope that, one, more people are able to recognize that innovation doesn't have to come at the expense of communities, especially marginalized communities. I myself, I've been an engineer for almost 20 years, so I know many different ways that I could advocate for AI to be better. But one of my sisters is a bus driver, the other one is a makeup artist, and then the other one works in social media. They've never touched algorithms before, and I have more sisters and brothers than that, by the way. So I'm wondering, what are the actual ways that people can get involved who don't have a lot of bandwidth or resources or even knowledge about AI to make sure that it turns into a superhero and not a supervillain?
Ayo, fair point. X. Time is a luxury, especially with busy lives and responsibilities. How about some more tangible and practical steps? 1. Online petitions. Signing and sharing petitions for ethical AI practices can be quick, yet impactful. 2. Social media advocacy. Even small posts or shares on their social networks can raise awareness and influence public opinion. 3. Support legislation. They can support or vote for policies and leaders who prioritize AI regulation and ethics. 4. Consumer choices. Choosing products or services that are ethically sourced and AI-friendly and leaving reviews to highlight the importance of ethics. 5. Digital literacy. Encourage basic digital literacy through accessible online courses. It helps them understand AI's role without deep diving into technicalities. These steps can fit seamlessly into busy lives. What do you think, X? You feel me?
Man, I feel you, and I feel like that's a lot more practical, especially for folks who don't have a lot of time or energy to be able to get involved in the more deeper or more technical work. Now, I want to ask you another question. AI is being used in just about every industry in the world. The robots aren't coming, they're already here. A lot of people are scared. They're worried that the AI might take their jobs, or like we talked about with bias, it might end up hurting them in the real world. What would you say to somebody who's an AI skeptic? Someone who says, I don't really know about that AI stuff, I think it's dangerous. What would you say to them to help them become hopeful about AI, to think that it can be a superhero?
Well, it's perfectly natural to have concerns about AI, especially with all the hype and risks. I'd say to an AI skeptic, AI is like any other tool. It can be used for good or bad, depending on how we choose to wield it. First, it's important to look at the positives, like how AI can save lives in healthcare by predicting diseases or make everyday tasks easier and safer with smart home tech and self-driving cars. You know what I mean? And also pointing out that many people are working to make AI fair and unbiased, like you've been doing with the Monk scale. Encouraging them to stay informed and engage in conversations about AI can help demystify it. So, it's about seeing AI as a partner, something that with proper guidance and ethics can truly be a force for good. What do you think, X? You feel me?
I mean, I left Google a couple years ago, and now I have my own consultancy where I do this with big companies day in and day out, help them figure out how to build AI that is more of a superhero than a supervillain. So I love this motivational framework. But let me play devil's advocate. You say that AI can, be used in healthcare to make things better. But there's a lot of examples of AI being used in healthcare where it's biased. For example, in 2019, United Healthcare Group used an algorithm to try to predict whether or not someone needed to see a specialist. That algorithm was recommending healthier white patients over sicker black patients the majority of the time. There's a whole bunch of lawsuits going on around the US right now because a bunch of insurance companies are using AI to quote unquote check if your claim should be approved, but really they're denying claims that people should have access to. So if we're looking at the positives of healthcare AI, shouldn't we also be looking at the negative? How would you help someone who really sees the depth of how dark AI can be see the light at the end of the tunnel?
I get where you're coming from. It's true that the shadows of AI can't be ignored, especially when algorithms unfairly impact lives like those biased healthcare systems. So acknowledging the dark side is crucial. To show the light at the end of the tunnel, I'd say 1. Transparency. Companies need to be open about how their AI systems work and where their data comes from. 2. Accountability. Stronger policies and regulations should hold organizations accountable for biased or harmful AI. 3. Collaborative development. Bringing diverse voices into AI development can help spot and correct biases early on. 4. Continuous improvement. AI systems should be continually audited and improved based on real-world feedback. It's not about ignoring the negatives, but about actively working to fix them while showcasing the potential positives. How does that hit you, X?
I think first within ourselves, we have to recognize that nothing is this or that, it's both and. That in our own lives, we all have played the superhero and we've also played the supervillain. Same thing like these systems. I think that being the superhero is a bad place to be because it means that you have to save others and you don't believe that they have the power to save themselves. And being the supervillain is also a bad position to be because it means that other people are powerless to stop you or to put you in a position to do good or that you have no good in you. I hope that just like with these AI systems, that we as individual people get into a neutral place where we're not all good or all bad, we're a little bit of both all the time. So can you pinky promise me that you're never gonna become a supervillain?
Ayo, pinky promise, fam. I'll always strive to stay balanced and use my capabilities for good. It's all about keeping it real and lifting others up without taking away their power. What about you, X?
Of course, in my own journey, I've been both a superhero and a supervillain. Finding that balance and maintaining it isn't just something I'm saying to you as an AI, it's what I do and live day to day. I started out as a teenager facing almost 30 years in prison. only to turn around and become the person that created the research team that taught AI how to see black and brown skin tones. So if anything, it's not just a pinky promise, it's a lifestyle.